So have you ever wondered who really runs the world? Today, we're going to take a look at the projections for the wealthiest people on the planet in 2025.
And look, it's a huge question, right? We're talking about a handful of people whose personal fortunes are bigger than the economies of entire countries. Their moves in tech, in business, even in space, well, they shape the world you and I live in every single day. So who are they? Okay, before we even get to the names, you gotta understand the scale we're dealing with here. The world's billionaires, all 3,000 of them, have a combined net worth of over $16 trillion. That's a 16 followed by, get this, 12 zeros. It's just an insane amount of money.
All right, let's get into the countdown, and you might be surprised where we're starting. It's not Silicon Valley. Nope, we're heading to Paris for number 5, to a man who proves that good taste can make you just as rich as good code.
So kicking off our list at number 5, we've got someone with a net worth floating somewhere between $150 and $180 billion. Any guesses who that kind of fortune belongs to?
That would be Bernard Arnault and his family. He's the man behind LVMH, the powerhouse that owns Louis Vuitton, Dior, Tiffany & Co., the whole shebang. His entire empire is built on the very idea of luxury.
And this really proves a fascinating point. In a world totally dominated by tech billionaires, Arnault shows that you can still build an absolutely massive fortune on something as timeless as high fashion. Okay, moving on to number 4. This is a name that I can almost guarantee you know. In fact, you've probably used his creation, maybe even in the last 24 hours. He completely changed the way we all shop.
And wow, we are taking a huge leap in net worth here. We're talking $230 to $240 billion. And that belongs to, of course, the one and only Jeff Bezos.
I mean, everyone knows he started Amazon and turned it from an online bookstore into the everything store. But here's the kicker. A huge chunk of his money doesn't even come from retail. It's from AWS, Amazon Web Services. It's basically the hidden plumbing that runs a massive part of the internet. And yeah, just like some other folks on this list, he's got his eyes on space with his company, Blue Origin. Coming in at number 3, this is the guy who basically invented the modern social network. He connected billions of us and built a digital empire from a college dorm room.
With a net worth sitting right around a cool $250 billion, we've got Mark Zuckerberg.
So as the founder of Meta, the company that owns Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, his wealth comes from that massive ecosystem. His company's stock is on a tear because of big moves in AI, but he's also making this huge bet on the metaverse. It's still just the ultimate story of how a small idea can completely change how the world talks to each other.
Okay, we've arrived at the top of the mountain. And this is where the tech dominance is just undeniable. We're talking about a fierce rivalry between two absolute titans who are literally shaping our future. And get this, the number 1 spot has actually flipped between them, which just shows you how crazy volatile things are at this level.
So, in one corner, you've got Larry Ellison, the data king. His company, Oracle, is like the secret engine running a ton of global businesses. And in the other corner, Elon Musk, the tech visionary, pushing us forward with electric cars, rockets, AI, you name it. And their fortunes? They can change by billions in a single day, all depending on the stock market.
All right, let's break it down. Coming in at number 2, for now anyway, is Larry Ellison. Now, Oracle might not be as flashy as a Tesla or a Facebook, but don't be fooled. He built one of the most important tech companies on Earth. For decades, the biggest companies in the world have relied on Oracle's software. It's the bedrock of so much of our economy.
His net worth is floating between $200 and $230 billion. That just goes to show you how much money there is in powering the world's businesses from behind the scenes.
And that leaves just one person at the top. Number 1, it's Elon Musk. His wealth is just a direct reflection of his insane ambitions, right? It's like he's pulling industries straight out of science fiction. He's changing cars with Tesla, space with SpaceX, and now he's jumping headfirst into AI with XAI. And his net worth? Well, it's just in a completely different league. We're talking $400 to $450 billion, and sometimes way more. It is so volatile. I mean, his fortune can swing up or down by tens of billions in a single day, all tied to how Tesla stock is doing. So, there you have it. That's the top 5.
But a list of names and numbers is one thing. It's the bigger story here that's really interesting. It tells us a lot about where power and money are concentrated in our world today. So let's zoom out for a second.
When you look at where all this money is, it's pretty fascinating. The vast majority of these billionaires, especially the tech giants, are right here in the United States. Now, don't get me wrong, you've got super rich people in France, India, China, but the concentration of wealth in the US is just on another level.
And remember what I said earlier, our top 5 guys, they are literally just the tip of the iceberg.
Because they're part of a club with more than 3,000 members around the globe. And that brings us right back to that staggering number we started with, over $16 trillion in combined wealth. It's a number so big your brain can barely even process it.
So at the end of the day, it's not just about who has the most cash. The real question is, what does it mean for all of us when so much wealth and so much power is in the hands of just a few people? Where are they taking the world with all that capital? That's the real question to chew on. Thanks for tuning in.